season of Burlington Old Timers Championship Hockey, and we've been here for many years on Cogeco TV 23. And today we're going to start it all off with the Gold Division game between the Grey Wolves and the Green Hornets. Hi everyone, I'm Al Galloway, and I'm here in the booth today along with Ken Porkalab and PA announcer Steve Scully. And gentlemen, welcome to the telecast.
Thanks, Al.
We're just starting things off with a special presentation at Center Ice, the Jim McKay Award. Ken, maybe you can tell us a little bit about this.
Yes, Jim McKay, he was an old-timer for many years, played baseball and hockey, and he passed away a few years ago. So the old-timers did something real nice for him and his family. So his wife has sort of set up an award. Every year they give the Jim McKay Award. And today it's Ed Ashley Smith, who's an original member also, back to 1975, and a guy that's well-deserved of this award. So Jim McKay's grandson is going to present it, and there's his wife out there. And that's also Jerry Barty, original member also, making the presentation. So it's a great day for the McKay family.
And it's always nice to remember people that have gone on before us in leagues and organizations such as this. And when you've been around for 28 years, you get to see a lot of people come and go.
That's right, and I'll sort of never forget Jim McKay. Just a quick story. We were playing a game until they get off the ice, and we were leading 5-0, and the guys wanted to make sure that I didn't get a shutout, So they passed the puck back to Jim McKay, and I saw Jim McKay's eyes, and I said to Jim, "Don't you pass that puck out to our guys." And Jimmy's looking at me, and I'm looking at him, and I could still see the look in his eye. And sure enough, he passed the puck out, and I lost my shutout. And we talked about that quite often over a beer. And I said, "Jim, why would you do that?" He says, "Well, the guys told me I had to do it." So
no respect for
no respect for goalies, yeah. So I lost a dozen golf balls that game too.
There you go.
Just a little story about Jim McKay.
Well, this league, as Ken alluded a moment ago, has been around since 1975, so we're in year number 28 for the Burlington Old Timers Men's Hockey League. And, of course, there are 7 divisions of 6 teams each in this league, and you'll be seeing all 7 of those games right here on Cogeco TV 23. Each division plays a round-robin playoff round to determine who gets to the championship game. And today, the Grey Wolves finished last in their division on the regular season, but here they are here today against the second-place Green Hornets, and action is underway now from Mainway Arena. And coming up with the puck is William Swibris, and Swibris tried to get the puck ahead for Joseph Smith and just failed to connect. Swibris kept it in momentarily, and finally picking it up for the Green Hornets was Neil Duncan, and he sends it down the ice. A few rule changes from what you might normally see here on TV 23 with the Cougars and some of the high school championship. Icing, you just have to get over your own blue line. Is that right, Ken?
That's right. Just get over the blue line, and then you can pass it down to the other end, then you're okay. But if you do it on this side of the blue line, like just there, that would have been icing if it got through,
And, of course, 2-line passes are in effect in this league, so the red line is still in effect as it would be normally. No touch, or just touch-up icing, no... Don't have to come back to get the puck?
Nope, nothing else. As soon as across the line, the whistle blows. We don't want no one to get hurt, naturally. We're not professionals. We're
going to play 2 periods here today, stop time. The one first period, 15 minutes. The second period, 20 minutes, I believe. And action is going underway in the Grey Wolves zone right now as the Green Hornets put on some pressure. And you've got people from age 35 all the way up to 78 here, I believe?
77 or 78 is Charlie Spur. He's number 14 out there in the green. And this is an original member, and Charlie's put in lots of time, of his own time. And his wife Margaret's always here cheering him on, but that guy just keeps on a-trucking. It's amazing, 78.
Well, that's the beauty of no-contact hockey.
Yeah, sometimes there's contact, but it's accidental, and no one really wants to hurt anyone in the old timers. And the referees really watch it pretty close, and they call everything if it's even a minor hit or something like that, just to let the guys know that there's be penalties if you do make body contact.
Well, a little rule in effect here as well, Ken. You were telling me before the game, even if somebody so much as attempts to knock down a high puck with a high stick, it's
a penalty
down
automatic
right away, and it's a penalty.
No one wants to get hurt with above the head, around the eyes or the chin or something. So we try to, and they really enforce that rule. The referees do an awesome job here.
Well, it's been a long-time organization at Burlington. I know a lot of these guys get out and play a little baseball in the summer together as well, and it's good to see that everybody's still able to keep it going after all these years. And
the best part about baseball they just
we've got a goal right off the bat here. Just a little less than 3 minutes into the game, and the
looks like Terry
Grey
Wardrobe.
Wolves.
I would say Terry Wardrobe, number 9, got that goal.
Let's get a look on the replay and see if we can pick it up. There you see the Grey Wolves. They're breaking in with it.
That's Brian Edmondson.
Brian Edmondson.
And Terry, yeah.
Terry Wardrobe puts them ahead 1-0. And
I think so.
So the last place team in the regular season jumps out first here in the championship game. Going back for it now. Or the Green Hornets. They try to get organized in their own zone. Little headman pass for Charlie Spur just fails to connect. Was kept in at the point by Smith, and he gets it right on the goaltender Joe Goulart.
Oh, look at this.
Oh, the puck's bouncing dangerously in the crease, but Joe Goulart right on the spot to pick it up.
And Joe Smith was there trying to puck it in.
To puck it in.
Puck it in. Yeah, it's a form we use in the old timers. I'll tell you later on about it.
Well, just remember, we're on TV.
I know. I got to be careful. It's a badge that we use during tournaments.
Face off to the left of the goaltender Goulart, and it's out over the blue line. Back for it is Gonson for the Grey Wolves, and he just fires it back into Green Hornet territory. Headman now for Sobchuk. Sobchuk. Cross rink pass. This is Driffled Cameron. Cameron centering it. It's intercepted there by the Grey Wolves. Wolves get it out to center, and coming back is Neil Duncan for the Green Hornets. He gets a little assist from Sobchuk, but forechecking nicely there is Frank Rank of the Grey team, and Goulart elects to pounce on it and hang on for the face-off.
The goalie for the Green team, this is his first year as an old-timer, and he's probably got a few butterflies right now. This is his first big game, eh? But he's done real well, and he loves the old-timers, and he likes what we're all about, and I hope he has a good year next year.
So there is some ranking in this league. Of course, the players are ranked, so it's not just by age that you're paired together.
It's caliber, too.
It's by caliber as well.
Yeah, we sort of rate everybody, and we put the right people in the right divisions. And the conveners and the exec, they work real hard at this to make sure that everything is level, at an even level, so that no one's going to walk away. And all the games are close, and it makes it real enjoyable for everybody.
Offside in the green zone as the Grey team fired it in, and there were men trapped inside the blue line, and when they touched the puck, of course, it was whistled down. Going back for the face-off now in the Grey zone. Sorry.
No, I was going to say, yeah, it was
Wardrobe?
Terry got the goal.
And the puck immediately back out into the neutral zone area, and coming back for it now is
Randy.
Number 11, Randy McCutcheon. My lineup's a little out of order here, so I have to look a little more carefully to pick up some of these numbers. So bear with me at home.
And I'll help you also.
Offside there. You know what? I don't have a number 41 in my lineup here for the Brian Edmondson. He changed his sweater.
For Grey.
So we'll mark him instead of number 6. He's number 41.
41. Yeah.
Okay, that'll help tremendously.
That's his age, I think. That's why he wants to wear that. He lies about maybe 10 or 15 years.
Of course, he's younger than that, right?
Brian would probably be about 50.
No, I just guess he's younger than 41.
Yeah, he's younger than 41. That's why he wants that sweater.
And the puck at center ice, and Downer was fighting for it. Several players jamming along the boards now as they try to pick it up. Working in there is Bob Doherty, and finally coming up with it is Joseph Smith, and Smith gets right in on goal, and Goulart is a busy man down there in the green net. There you get a good look at Joe Goulart.
The Grey team, they're on a mission because they got off to a bad start. They sort of stumbled at the starting block, but they were playing very well near the end of the season. So they got a point to prove that they're not cellar dwellers. They're going to be in first place here.
So just like the NHL playoffs, you want to be hot as you head into the postseason.
Exactly, yep. And the team that ended up in first place, they weren't hot. They cooled off.
Ozzie Caldarelli firing it ahead, and it was intercepted, fired right back into the gray zone. Back for it now is Gary Downer. Downer rims the boards and gets it out into the green territory, and this should go all the way for icing, but no, they waved it off.
Yeah.
I guess they felt somebody could have handled that puck on the way down.
Look at this.
In front, Hancock. Goulart, the save. Out over the blue line, and with it there is Smith. Bill Smith just putting it back into green territory. The delayed offside is waved off now, and Green Hornets will try to get it out over the blue line, and they do. Headman attempt now for Caldwell. He just gets it into the gray territory, and Bill Smith goes back for it. Long lead pass. That'll go all the way.
No, that should be icing, that one, yeah.
And there we go. It's whistled down with 9:09 to go in the first period from Mainway Arena in Burlington. Al Galloway and Ken Porkalab bringing you all the action of this Gold Division game in Burlington Old Timers hockey. This is something that we at Cogeco have enjoyed doing for many years, coming out and doing all 7 championship games and showing them to you on Cogeco TV.
Ozzie missed a great opportunity there because Joe went down and Ozzie couldn't get it up, I guess, and should have been an empty netter.
Puck in the gray zone. Richard Scott had it and centered it, and momentarily was Dettenbeck with it there. Back for Scott in the corner. He twists and turns, tries to get it back for Dettenbeck. It goes a little too far, and it's out over the blue line. Coming back for it there is Gord Good, and he gets it off the boards. Headmans it now for Dettenbeck. Dettenbeck tried to headman it for Gary Furness. Just got past him, and it's back in gray territory where Gonson gets it around the boards. Fighting for it is Furness for Green, and tries to get it out in front. Back checking nicely there was Terry Wardrop. He's the man with the goal in this hockey game. Working his way up now, Terry Wardrop into green territory. Forechecking his man, Richard Scott. Scott just gets it out ahead, and he had a man on the right side, just let him a little too much. Barry Dettenbeck just couldn't get to it.
No friends, and they play baseball together and everything else, but
there's no love lost when it comes down to the championship, right?
So John will try much harder against what number is Gary there? 15? Yeah, Gary Finesse, 15 for the Green Hornets.
Face-off will be to the right of Joe Goulart.
All the shooting down the other end.
There's a quick shot, and that just missed. Not by much. And Gray putting on some pressure now. This was Hamann trying to keep it in. He does. Back into green territory, going back for it. Number 2, Phil Davey, and he was fighting for it there. And coming around now is John Radzewski. Radzewski fighting to keep it in. Looked like it came out. It did. The officials wave it off, though, as Gray cleared the zone. Back in the green territory, they put it off the boards and out into neutral territory. And on the player change there, I think things got a little confused.
Yeah, because the box is very close to the blue line, so sometimes the accidents like that happen. Old Charlie Spur was out there doing not too bad of a job there, number 14. The young guy of the team, or the division. By the way,
love to hear that.
Yeah, the conveners, by the way, have done a great job. Steve Scully is a convener, and also Paul Sinker. We had a third convener, Bernie Porter. He got hurt, so he sort of gave up his post. But they put in an awful lot of work. It's not just the hockey; it's what they do afterwards.
This is number 10, Frank Rank, in over the line. He's got a man with him. Shot, hit the post. That one got by Goulart, but it hit the post, and sometimes those posts can be your best friend. Other nights they can be your worst enemy, right, Ken?
I love them. They're my best friend. It's part of my equipment. That's what I always tell the guys when they hit the post.
Out in the slot area, Green couldn't pull the trigger, and it's out over the line into neutral territory. Right back into the gray zone. John Robertson out of the goal to handle it and give it off to Carl Gonson. Gonson gets around on the boards, keeping it in there is Sobchuk. Sobchuk, it's out in front. There's another attempt at a goal by the Green Hornets, number 5, Ron Caldwell.
Ron Caldwell. In fact, he scored the first goal yesterday for his team. They got them here, eh?
So the Green Hornets underway, and we've got a tie hockey game, 1-1 with 6:09 remaining in the first period. Or sorry, make that 8:09 remaining in the first period. The clock has got a couple of burnout bulbs in it there, which makes it a little challenging, I believe.
Yeah, you sort of have no idea what it is, whether it's a 6 or an 8. It looks like 6:09. Really, that's the first shot on John Robertson, so I guess he's a little cold. Eh? Like you said, all the action's been down the other end. Eh?
Well, you always hear it that the goaltenders like to get into the game early and get a little action right off the bat.
Which is true. When I play, I like to have 4 or 5 shots in the first couple minutes, and then I'm into the game. Eh?
There's a collision at center ice, but nothing comes of that. And breaking in is Dettenbeck. Dettenbeck, puck back for Furness. It bounced over his stick.
Oh, Gary's going to talk about that one.
Furness tips it back in now. Green Hornets putting on some pressure, but the Grey Wolves managed to get it out. This is Wardrop. He couldn't get it in. Working it at center is Scott now for the Green Hornets. Richard Scott, right wing pass to number 8, Barry Dettenbeck. Dettenbeck centering it back for Scott, and the play was broken up nicely by Dennis Hamann of the Grey Wolves. Puck in Grey territory as the Wolves try to get it out. Trying to work it off the boards there was Terry Wardrop. Finally, they get it out, and it's back into Green Hornets territory. Goulart will watch it go by for icing, and that'll bring the face-off all the way back into the Grey Wolves zone with 4:56 remaining and things tied at 1-1. We are in the first of 2 periods here rather than the traditional 3.
Dennis Hamann, if you notice, he's the only player still playing with blade skates. Remember those blade skates we used to have a long, long time ago? He says he's good for about 10 more years. He sharpens them once every 5 years. So.
I was going to say, you can't be sharpening them that often because the blade would be worn down pretty quickly.
I was talking to him the other day. I says, how often do you sharpen? He says, once every 3 years.
Whether they need it or not, eh?
They lasted a long time. I think he bought them at Canadian Tire for $23, so you know how old they are.
They must be pretty comfortable, though. They're pretty well broken in, I would think.
They are broken in.
Right off the bat, the Grey Wolves get it out to center, and hustling back there is Neil Duncan for the Green Hornets. Duncan off the boards, head-manned it for Dave Robertson. It got by him. Right back into Green territory. Forechecking is William Swibris. Swibris gets it there as Phil Davey was trying to get it out for the Hornets. Off the glass and out into neutral territory again.
Bill usually plays defense, but he's got such a good shot. They got him up at the forward line today. I guess they want to get all the scoring punch up there.
Bill Swibris?
Yeah, he's a lawyer in Burlington, and he's got a real good shot, like I said. So.
Well, most lawyers like taking shots.
Yeah, especially Bill.
Just kidding, Bill. Down into Green territory. Neil Duncan tries to handle it. Gets it back now for Driffield Cameron. Driffield Cameron gets it out to center, and there's a 2-man race for the puck. Number 7 for Grey is Bill Smith, but it goes all the way for icing.
I think the referee would have beat all of them there. Of course, he's young. He's much younger.
I was going to say, I suspect the officials out there are a little bit younger than most of these guys wearing the uniforms today. Unfortunately, we don't have the officials' names for you.
Well, I know that's Bob. I can't remember his last name right now, but I play ball with him and everything else. He's loved. Yeah.
Puck at Green territory, and it gets out. Sobchuk's got it now. Joe Sobchuk tries to break around Bill Smith. Sobchuk shot high and wide.
And Joe's got a good hard shot.
There's a shot to score, deflected right in front of the net, and no goal. Kicked in with a skate.
To me, it looked like it was an accidental kick in, but
let's get a look on the replay and see if we can pick it up. Watch right in front of the net. There it is, right off the skate of number 7.
Actually,
Bill
their
Smith,
own,
was it?
their own
It was
defenseman.
their own defenseman.
Their own defenseman
So
actually
that should have
scored.
been a goal.
It should have been a goal. I agree. Yeah. It hit Billy Smith. That's what I thought
There
it
it is
did.
again. Well, maybe it hit the skates of that green player just before it hit. Maybe it didn't hit Smith. It looked like it did, but
Well,
there was a Green Hornets player right involved in that action too. So anyway, here's another shot off the stick of Ron Caldwell, and gloving it there was John Robertson of the Grey Wolves. We are still tied at 1 with 3:14 remaining in the first period. 15 minutes stop time in period number 1, 20 minutes stop time in period number 2. And if we're still tied at the end of regulation, what do we do, Ken?
we go into a shootout right away.
Right away, 5 players each.
5 players. They already got the names picked out. The coaches know, and they go to a shootout. Then they go to the next 5 guys.
So those names are selected prior to the game?
Yeah, they got to be submitted prior before the game. And shootout's very exciting. It's hard on the goalie. I know because I've been in about a dozen of them.
So they do that in regular season too to break ties? Or
No,
do you just tie?
it's strictly in a tournament or the round robin or championship games.
Okay.
Yeah. Always the championship games go to shootout, and that's it.
So even the round robin games have to play to a conclusion. They won't.
No, you could have a tie,
You can have a
and
tie.
you get a point for a tie. It's total points after 5 games.
Right.
And the two teams with the most points, like the green had 6, and the gray had 7. So no, I'm sorry, green had 8, and the gray had 7. So the total points get you to the big dance, as I call it.
Big dance. I like that. This is the Grey Cup, so to speak,
Yeah, the Grey Cup of the Gold Division. Yeah.
of the Gold Division. Lots of
Excuse me.
colors involved here today, as we've got a delayed offside in Grey Wolves territory. It's headman, but a 2-line pass onto the stick of Terry Wardrop, so that'll bring it back just inside the blue line.
We got a couple other older guys playing in here. Neil Duncan, he's pushing 70. He's an original member. I think of the 144 original members that started in 1975, there's probably around 12 of us still playing.
That's a fantastic record, and it speaks to the longevity of the league and how well organized it must be.
The directors and all that, they do an awesome job. Dave Bedini, who's our president, he really puts in many hours, and all the other directors. Peter Austin, who's now become the wide open.
Just trying to one-time it there was Joseph Smith. Out at the blue line, kept in by Gary Downer. He knocked it down with his glove. Downer is searching for that man in front. He had Smith standing right in front.
Smith is a very aggressive player. He likes to really get in there.
Trying to keep it in was William Swibris, and he just couldn't get back in time, so that'll result in an offside call.
Another close call there, eh?
Another close call.
Yeah.
The officials right on top of things, though.
Like I said, the executives, they put in an awful lot of time, like hours and hours. People have no idea how many hours, but we're up to 1,000 members now.
Well, it takes a lot of volunteers to make something like this happen.
We have our own clubhouse over here across the street, which we socialize in. There are parties there. It's a nice place to go and talk about all the mistakes we made. Sometimes you'd be there all night.
And again, this is basically a year-round enterprise as Joe Goulart pounces on it for another face-off, because a lot of you get together to play ball in the summer.
And then they go back to the clubhouse and have a few beers and order some wings in, and we just socialize there. And then they play euchre there every Monday night. They have a euchre club. And then special nights, the women, they organize like St. Patrick's Pub Night, where it's a potluck dinner. They have 3 or 4 of those a year. So the club is used quite a bit, and everyone likes to socialize, and that's what it's all about, eh?
So a lot of friendships develop outside the game here,
lots of friendships. Baseball, hockey, everything.
Face off to the right of Joe Goulart in the Green Hornets net, and the Hornets get it out to center where Gary Downer pounces on it. Downer firing it back in. It's knocked down right at the blue line. Head man there for Scott, and he got it over to Gary Furness, who fired it wide. Furness goes down in the corner, and the Grey Wolves come back with it. Here they come at center now. Working it ahead is Frank Rank, and he gets it into green territory where Gord Good got it. He got it back out to center, and hustling ahead
Oh,
there is
there goes
Furness,
Furness.
and he gets around his man. He gets it out in front, right onto the stick of Scott. Scott's shot is blocked at the defense. We've got 38 seconds remaining in the opening period. Working it ahead now for Gray. That was Wayne Allard. And now the Green Hornets right back into the gray zone. It's out over the blue line. 20 seconds remaining in the opening frame now as the Wolves' Wayne Allard gets it in.
Gary Furness almost gave John Scott a breakaway there. Just a little harder with the pass, and John Scott would have been home free. Oh, here goes Terry.
Terry Wardrop around his man. He's in the clear. He's got a couple men coming back, and he can't quite pull the trigger the way he would have liked. There goes the buzzer, and period number 1 draws to a close, and they couldn't be much closer when it's tied 1-1 after the first period.
Terry almost made it 2-0, or 2-1.
Terry Wardrop with the goal.
We got some very aggressive players out there today, and they're all going for the gusto today. This is it. There's no tomorrow.
And the announcement there in the arena indicating 8 shots to 6 in favor of the Grey Wolves over the Green Hornets in that opening frame.
We got a good statistician here. Steve does an awesome job with the stats all year long. He updates everything, all the games, who's got the shots, who's got the assists, almost everything. So we couldn't ask for a better guy to do the stats for the Old Timers.
Well, and 8 to 6, the shots on goal, and of course that's always a bit of a telling statistic as the Grey Wolves work it back out. Brian Edmondson gets it across on the right side for Terry Wardrop. A shot, and I thought it had gone in momentarily, but it was on the mesh behind the goal. This is Vanderveen now from the point. Wrist shot just deflects wide. Edmondson going back for it. Edmondson getting it out for Bauman. And it's down in the corner as Bauman tries to work it out now. He fans out at once, gets it back to the point.
Dennis Hamann. Oh, I thought that was going in.
And a little alley-ooper from the point.
See the old blade skates? They're
Boy,
well
you don't
protected.
see those very often
no,
anymore.
God. You see them on trophies.
You know what? I don't even know where you'd be able to get the tips if the tips broke off.
You
anymore.
can't. You can't buy them anywhere. So that's why Dennis doesn't sharpen them. He says once every 3-4 years, that's it. He says I'm good for 20 more years.
Of course, this time of year, the weather's a little milder outside. The ice is a little bit softer, so he maybe gets away with it in the spring.
He does, yeah.
A little colder in here. The ice is a little harder during the winter months. Working it ahead now, Sobchak for Green, and on the right side, this is number 12, Driffield Cameron, and he gets it just wide of the goal. It's off the mesh, and Grey Wolves try to work it out now. They get it to the point, not out. It's kept in. There's a quick shot from Joe Sobchak, and it's blocked at the defense. Kept in there by McCutcheon. Finally, the Grey Wolves will get it off the boards to center.
Drift's a guy that played baseball and for many years and didn't realize the Old Timers existed, and we kept telling him, come on, you'll have all kinds of fun. And he joined up about 3 years ago, and he loves it. It just gets better every year. In fact, the first year he played with his son's pants, and they were always too short. I always knew Drift, I could tell him by the pants coming down, too short. He finally went out this year and bought a pair of pants, and I didn't recognize him.
I was going to say, you wouldn't want to get hit with those short pants.
No, I often wondered. I said, God, if he ever gets... And they were short, like, I mean, they were about 10, 12 inches above the knees. But he's really enjoying it, and he's playing real well and getting better.
Green Hornets try to work it out of their own zone. Puck to the point, not out. Finally, Green Hornets will get it out to center. Fired right back in by Frank Rank. Working it out now is Dettenbeck. Dettenbeck headmans it. It's intercepted by Richard Scott. And the Green Hornets come back with it now. Up the right, left side, Richard Scott gets it around behind the goal. It comes back out to the point. And the Grey Wolves, Gary Furness. Sorry, make that Ozzie Caldarelli gets it out. Good. Working it back in, just dribbles it in on net. John Robertson steers it to the side. And back in Green territory. Going back forward is good. Head man to Furness. Furness gets it cross rink for Scott. Scott has it hit his skate. He comes back for it now. Over the stick of Dettenbeck, and Scott with it once again at center. To the point.
John Scott likes to play the red line, and he's got a good shot and got good wheels, eh? Should have good wheels. He's a pilot for Air Canada. I think he flew in for this game.
And pouncing on it is Goulart, and he elects to hang on, perhaps wisely so, with a Grey Wolf player rather, lurking in the weeds there.
Yeah, Joe likes to grab a hold of everything, where John and I we stop it and kick it out and give the guys another chance. I think Joe's got a better idea. That's why Joe's here and I'm not here today. Right, Steve?
Yeah.
Steve, of course, is Steve Scully, who's manning the public address system here for this game. Off the boards in Green Hornet territory. Grey Wolves keeping it in. There's one shot. It's steered off to the boards. Off the boards. Phil Davey got it to the point, but not out. It's still in Green Hornet territory. Coming back for it now is Bauman. Bauman tried to headman it, and the Hornets come out with it. Hustling up with it here is Bob Doherty. Doherty on the right side, on his backhand, centering it. It's knocked back to the corner, and right there is Bill Smith for the Grey Wolves. Number 11 here is Randy McCutcheon. McCutcheon got it to the blue line. It's still at center. Off the boards now by Sobchuk. He was checked nicely by Joseph Smith of the Grey Wolves, and the headman pass goes all the way down into Green Hornet territory where McCutcheon gets it back out. Up with it now is Caldwell. Pass to the right side was intercepted and steered back towards the green zone, and Gord Good will just fire it into Grey territory. This is Gonson now. Carl Gonson head manning the puck, goes back out into the neutral zone. Where McCutcheon will fire it right back in. Little tennis game going on out there, Ken.
Just a little bit. I don't know whether your camera guys have got a shot at the coach's bench on the Green Hornets, but we have two coaches that dress up like Don Cherry every time they're in a championship game. They have suits and real wide ties and everything else, so they're quite the pair. I was told my coach, you got to dress up like Don Cherry or else we'll never win, you know. But these guys, they're dressed to the hills.
Do they have Bubba cans of beer named after
They
them
probably
too?
got them in their bags.
Which is for the Grey Wolves, Dave Little and Richard Bing, and for the Green Hornets, Bill Threader and Don Kay.
Don Kay's a goalie also, eh?
It's not that. It's the guy standing right in front of him.
Why is it? Oh, puck centered now. Finally intercepted by Caldarelli, who gets it out to center. Why is it that goalies go on to become color commentators or coaches?
Well, I guess that's a good question. Why
Maybe
am I?
Because you get to sit back and see the whole game and analyze it, do you?
I prefer to be down there right now playing. I'd rather have you be talking about me, saying I made a.
There's the Don Cherry lookalikes right there.
There they are. Yeah, I'm glad you guys picked it up. See that the tie? Oh, he took the tie off. I don't know why he took the tie. Oh, that's too bad.
Which one is that?
That's Bill Threader.
That's Bill Threader.
And the other guy is Don Kay. He has a black shirt, red tie on, and a hat. See, you can see it from you can see it from here.
Well, we're up top, over in behind the benches, high above center ice. There you see him. There's the hat.
Yeah, there's the hat. I even joked to the other teams, Bill. I says, Dave Little, you guys are underdressed. I said, you got to dress up like real winners.
Wouldn't want to go into the dressing rooms with those suits. They might get a little messed up with all the sweat and beer and everything.
No,
in the
they're
dressing room.
right in there. They love to show off today. Today's their show off day.
Puck in the neutral zone, 13:56 to go in the second and final period here. There will be a shootout if this game remains tied at the end of regulation time.
And the way they're playing now, it's pretty tight. Funny you should mention that. I was thinking about it a few seconds ago. I said, you know what, we could have which is very exciting end. It's not good for the goalies, but it's good for the fans. Now there was Richard Scott again.
Richard Scott on the left side. He stops, spins, looking for his man in front.
Oh.
He had Barry Dettenbeck there awaiting the pass, and they just couldn't connect. On the left side now, the Grey Wolves, number 14 is Wayne Allard, and he gets it into Green Hornet territory. Back for it is Phil Davey. Up on the left side, Richard Scott blocked it with his skate, got it onto his stick, and He gets it over here on the near side now. Phil Davey had it momentarily. It was poke checked off his stick. He finally gets it into gray territory. Carl Gonson not Carl Gonson. Dennis Hamann working it back out. Down in Green Hornet territory. Here's the shot by Hamann. And it was blocked. Green Hornets try to work it out of their own zone. That was Hancock, number 7, getting it off the boards. And his opposite number, Bill Smith, gets it out to center. Down into Grey Wolves territory behind the goal. John Robertson plays the puck around the boards. Ralph Bauman gets it ahead. He's checked in there by Doherty. Doherty, the pass into the slot area for Dave Robertson. And
right through the crease.
Right through the crease there. And Neil Duncan comes up with it, gets it around behind the goal. And the Grey Wolves would get it to the point, but not out as Gary Downer keeps it. Not Gary Downer. Make that Randy McCutcheon keeps it in.
Randy's got a good shot too. He likes letting him go high, top corner. I know.
From experience, eh?
From experience, yeah.
Here's McCutcheon, spins around, Savardian style. Got it to the point, and finally coming up with it now is Caldwell. Caldwell, left wing side for Robertson. Robertson is checked in there by William Swibers, who got back nicely.
So you can tell he's a defenseman too, because he knows how to come back and play both ways. So that's an asset to the team when he's playing forward, but he can back check too, eh? And that helps the goalie. Eh?
Yeah, you like to know the forwards know their goaltender by looks and by name, eh? They come back far enough.
You know who's going to come back and who's not, eh?
Caldwell gets it to the point, kept in there by Downer. Down in the corner, back there is Gord Good. Back out on the point, kept in momentarily by Vanderveen. It's in behind the goal. Around the boards by McCutcheon. And here come the Green Hornets again. Right wing pass for Sobchuk didn't connect. It's down in behind the Grey Wolves net. Downer.
Up in the
gets
fans.
up into amongst the fans here at the Mainway Arena, and the fans don't even keep the souvenir.
Yeah,
they throw it back.
Actually, a little kid there. Normally these kids, they hang on to these things, but it's probably their grandfathers out there playing, so they got to give it back. Here comes
there you get a look at some of the crowd.
Yeah, there's Peter Rawson just coming in. He's our treasurer. There's a guy that puts in lots of hours and does an awesome job, along with all the other executives, like I mentioned before.
Do you have an internet site that people can go on?
Yes, we have an internet site.
Get results?
Yep. It's BOHC.ca. And it gives you all the information.
John Robertson steers that to the corner. Puck just narrowly missing there. The Grey Wolves finally get it out. We've got a little over 10 minutes to go here in the final period, and it's icing now with 10:08 remaining, and
getting closer to that shootout, eh?
Getting closer and closer as we inch down there, and
I say the next goal is going to be a big one.
I would think so.
I think you agree with me.
I think the way they're playing, as tight as they are,
very tight. No one wants to make a mistake, but still they're all looking to get that, that glorious goal.
The next one would be the costly one for sure. Off the boards now. Grey Wolves try to get it out. That was Terry Wardrop backhanding it, and finally they do get it out with a little help there by number 41, Edmondson.
Yeah, Brian is a real aggressive player, real super guy.
Working it in there is Doherty. Gets it behind the goal, and Vanderveen will rim the boards with it, and back comes Edmondson. Edmondson to the green-blue line. Gets around a couple of men. Down into the corner, looking out in front. He has Wardrop out there. Wardrop's got it. He centers it. And intercepting it there was Spur, and it comes out over the blue line.
Right through 2 sets of feet. It's called a 5-hole.
And the Green Hornets out with it. Intercepted there by Radzewski. Radzewski,
yeah, John.
Gets it in behind the net. It winds up on the mesh, and that'll result in a face-off.
Outside, yeah. Outside face-off. Should be outside here. I guess the golf clubs come out next, eh?
Well, I'm driving here
baseball.
today. Driving here today as we tape on a Sunday. The weather is quite nice out there. Sunny. The snow is just about all melted finally.
Tomorrow is supposed to be 19, so I'm pretty sure a lot of these guys can hardly wait to put their equipment away.
You just get those courses to dry out just a little bit.
Just a bit, and away they go.
Head manning the puck now is Radzewski. Radzewski getting it in. Coming back there nicely is McCutcheon. Round on the boards, intercepted by Swibris. Swibris in behind the net for Smith. Smith centering it, and the goaltender Joe Goulart pouncing on it one more time. Just had a note handed to us here. The Old Timers, Canada versus Austria, 2004 European Hockey Holiday Tour organized by Old Timers Hockey Canada. And if you're interested in this, you can come to go to an information session presented by John, is it Gouet, of the president of the Old Timers Hockey Canada, at the Burlington Old Timers Clubhouse, and that's on Mainway?
On Mainway, yeah.
On Mainway, right at Walker's Line.
Yeah, and behind the judge and jury.
Right behind the judge and jury, and it's Wednesday, May 21st, 2003 at 7 p.m. For more information, call 905-690-3662, or you can call Gunther Gratzer, and you can get a hold of Gunther by email at gratzer@hotmail.com. So that's an opportunity for a trip of a lifetime, really, to go play hockey in one of the most beautiful countries of the world, Austria. That puck bounced high over top of the net, and Goulart was down on his knees and watched it go over top of him. I'm sure he had a bit of a heart-stopping moment there.
Gunther likes to play hockey 12 months out of the year. In fact, he's on my tournament team. We're going to Niagara Falls in May the 2nd. We have 4 hockey teams that we play tournament hockey, and Gunther's one of them. And he loves hockey. He plays all summer long. And I guess he's trying to get this going. So
the name like Gunther, I bet he's Austrian.
I would say he's from there. Yes, definitely from there. He has a little accent, not much. But that's quite a trip, like you said, eh? But we've had some old-timers take trips to Holland. And we've gone to Las Vegas, Miami. They have a couple trips.
Well, there wouldn't be anything else going on besides hockey in Vegas, would there?
Yes, there was a lot of stuff going on there. In fact, that was a good trip. I went down to Vegas once in a tournament. But Tampa Bay is another area that there's a lot of hockey tournaments going on in Florida and everywhere else.
Well, all the Canadians like to go to Tampa, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah. Well, actually, it's a trip for the wives, really. It's more for the wives because they get a nice holiday out of it.
That's your story, and you're sticking to it,
I'm sticking to it, yeah.
There's a centering pass off the stick of Richard Scott, and just doesn't connect. Kept in at the point now. There's another shot, and getting the poke check out there was John Robertson.
Terry Hancock almost put one in there.
Green Hornets putting on the pressure now. Down in the corner is Dettenbeck. Dettenbeck works it out into the slot area. He had Gary Furness there. He was checked. And finally, the pressure is relieved by the Grey Wolves by sending it the length of the ice, and it just trickles across the icing line, and that will result in play coming back into Grey Wolves territory for the face-off, but they'll get a chance to get a breather and to get maybe a little bit more organized down there.
A lot of heat put on by the Green Hornets there. In fact, Gary Furness was out there, John's buddy, and like I said earlier, he loved to put one in on John. Could talk about it all season during baseball.
Grey Wolves get it out over the line, taken there though by Gord Good of the Green Hornets. Gord hustles back and tries to put it off the boards, but it goes into the penalty box area and out of play.
There's Paul Sinker picking up. He's the other convener, by the way. Paul and Steve work together. They got lots of work ahead of them. We get the summer off, but their work is just starting all over again. Getting ready for next season.
Getting ready for next season.
Yeah, they got to do the draft.
And you start when, in September?
We start September, yes, and it ends right now. So today's the last day, but it's a lot of work in between for these guys. It's not like just picking up a hockey bag and a schedule.
And you are listed in the phone book under Burlington Men's
Old Timers.
Yep. So if anybody's interested in getting involved.
Yeah, we have our clubhouse. Just look it up there. I haven't got the number here. I wonder if it's here on this.
No, I don't believe so.
No, it's not. But like I say, we're across the street, right behind the judge and jury. It's a famous place.
Across the street, we mean Mainway and Walker's Line.
Right.
In Burlington.
There's a big logo, Burlington Old Timers Clubhouse, just like that logo on the ice there.
I don't know if we can get a shot of that logo at center ice or not at some point in the telecast, but we'll try to do that.
That's Hector.
The player in the logo is known as Hector. And 5:38 remaining now, regulation time. Old Timers Gold Division Championship action from Mainway Arena. 28th season of Burlington Old Timers hockey. And what an organization it is, as the Green Hornets have it in neutral territory now, and finally back to the Grey Wolves, and they fire it back and forth now. There's perhaps some rubbery legs out there. There's been a lot of hockey played in the last few weeks by these players.
Yeah, they just finished playing 5 games. Everyone wants to get to the 6th game of the round robin. And but this makes it long, especially the last period being a 20-minute period.
And hustling for it there is Sobchuk. Sobchuk, he's got a clear view for a shot. It gets through the legs of John Robertson right through the 5-hole, but it came out the other side, and it looks like we may have a penalty.
Yeah, they took number 5. They took Ron down. Ozzy actually took him down. Good thing he did, because it might have been a rebound there for him. So that's what you call a good penalty. Interference
call. Let's get a look on the replay as Sobchuk is breaking in, and one man back. He's got a man coming on the left, and there on the left of your screen you see the interference, and going down was Ron Caldwell, and
taken down by Ozzy.
Taken down by number 15, Ozzy Caldarelli, and so this is the first penalty of the hockey game today, and we've got 4:47 remaining in the game, so that's not bad. It speaks to the way this league is
looking
organized.
Better and better, eh?
Well, except with a power play here, this is a golden opportunity for the Green Hornets. Down in Grey Wolves territory, and now it's dumped down the ice to relieve the pressure, and whoa. And Joe Goulart had a little bit of trouble with that one. It came in a little hotter than he expected, and that could have been dangerous. Now at the blue line, kept in nicely there by Carl Gonson, and Goulart has to steer it to the corner. Terry Hancock with it now, and he's forechecked by Terry Wardrop. Headman into neutral territory. This is Gary Downer for the Grey team. Fires it right back into green territory. 4 minutes exactly remaining in the final period here. Breaking in. There's a shot by Richard Scott, and that almost got through.
And he's dangerous. He's a sniper. I call him a sniper.
It was kept in at the point by Davey, across to Scott, and checking nicely there is Gary Downer. He gets it around behind his own goal, and the Grey Wolves will try to get it out. They can't get it past Phil Davey, though, and Davey blocked it nicely, and finally it's to the point. Still not out. Here's Scott again. His shot's blocked. And finally, the Grey Wolves get it out of harm's way with 37 seconds remaining in the penalty. 3:21 now remaining in regulation time.
And the shots are still pretty close. They're 8 for the Grey, and oh no, I'm sorry. How many altogether?
We're getting a
count here.
Running total on the shot clock here.
Yeah, 15-10 for Grey. So Gray's been doing a lot of shooting.
Gray's doing the bulk of the work. Goulart's been the busier of the two goaltenders. And down in Grey territory now. That was Dennis Hamann. He gets it off the boards to center. Right wing pass now for Green Hornets, Charlie Spur. And of course, Charlie, the senior member, one of the charter members of this 28-year association, as the penalty winds down now and is now over. Everybody back at full strength. Puck down in the corner. In behind Joe Goulart in the Green Hornets net. Fighting for it there is Doherty. Doherty finally gets it ahead, and the Green Hornets get it out to center. 2:30 remaining in regulation time. That shootout looming.
Looking very, very good. But you never know. Just one mistake.
One mistake. Could see a quick goal.
Even 5-6 seconds ago, I've seen this games won with 3 seconds to go. The score could be 1-1, and all of a sudden, and that's a bad way to lose.
Absolutely. You'd rather lose by 10 than lose by 1 sometimes.
Yeah, to lose like that, yeah. And I've lost like that many times.
I'm sure you've won a few of them too.
Yeah, I've won a few of them too, over the 28 years that I've played.
Al Galloway and Ken Porkalab with you here as the two-line pass resulted in a face-off inside Gray territory. There's a shot behind the goal. Green Hornets try to put on some pressure now. It's centered and batted away to the boards. Davey keeping it in. He gets it down into the corner. Davey will try to keep it in again, but he can't as the Grey Wolves manage to get it out. Dumping it off the boards there was Wayne Allard, number 14. And you see a few players slowing down just a tad here now, this late in the hockey game.
These are the guys that are 60 plus.
You know, and the legs get a little rubbery. Here's the Grey Wolves putting it into Green Hornet territory, and hustling back there is Neil Duncan. Duncan with it, he gets it off the boards, gets it ahead for Driffield Cameron. Cameron loses it there to Terry Wardrop. Wow. Wardrop had the goal, the opening goal of the hockey game, which gave the Grey Wolves the lead temporarily, but it is now a 1-1 tie as Wardrop's got it again. Wardrop just through the crease.
And Terry's got a good shot. He can get a lot behind it now and then, I know, because he's scored on me quite a few times, and I didn't expect it.
Ray hustling back, fired into the center area. This is Dettenbeck in over the line for the Green Hornets, centering it, and Bill Smith gathers it up there. 50 seconds remaining now in regulation time. The shootout looming ever larger. Green Hornets dumping it ahead. No one wants to make a mistake now. Oops. It goes down into Grey Wolves territory as you say that, Ken.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, like I said, I've seen it. See, look at this.
There's a shot, and it deflects right in, and Robertson pounces on it there in the Grey Wolves zone. And
see, that could have happened. It could have slid between the legs. You never know, eh? Because both goalies are probably nervous right now, thinking, well, there's a shootout. I don't want nothing to happen, eh? And it's a lot of pressure.
There's a good look at John Robertson in the Grey Wolves net as the camera pans back, and we see the face-off.
John's had an awesome 5-game tournament here. He hasn't had too many goals. He's had a couple shutouts, and he's been playing real well.
Those who say old-timers can't play defense aren't around at playoff time, obviously.
Yeah. Some of them are sitting up here in the box.
This was number 10, Richard Scott, and Robertson's got it in the big catcher mitt, and Scott lies down for a little bit of a rest on the ice, and
he's laughing right now.
He gets a little teasing there from one of the Grey Wolves players.
I think that's Bill Schweisber.
9 seconds to go. Game played quickly, game played cleanly to this point. Only one penalty, and it came in this second of 2 periods. 15 minutes and then 20 minutes stop time. From the face-off, it goes through the crease. Whistle's blown right away. 2 seconds come off the clock.
Done, yeah.
We're down to 7 seconds remaining, and face-off wasn't done properly.
Bill
so
Threader is even thinking of pulling the goalie for that extra attacker. You gotta watch Bill. Bill does these things. That's Mr. Don Cherry of the coaches. Look how far the goalie is. He's thinking of coming out.
And there's the face-off. It goes to the boards, and Goulart remains in the net. It's back on the point. This is number 17, Gordon Good, and we are going to a shootout. A 1-1 tie through regulation time at the Mainway Arena. Gold Division Championship action in Burlington Old Timers hockey here on Cogeco TV 23.
Now it gets real exciting.
So the teams come back to their benches, and the coaches will line up the 5 players on each team that were selected prior to the start of the game here today. They have to be selected prior to the action starting.
That's right, Jared, prior, and I believe they both go at the same time. So your camera, I guess your camera boys will have to pick up one on one end or one at the other end, and
well, I'll tell you what, Ken, you keep an eye on the end of your left. I'll keep an eye on the end of my right.
Okay, you'll watch John Robertson, and I'll watch Joe.
And we'll try to bring you as much of the action as we can here.
Now, I believe this is the first shootout for John Robertson. I don't think he's ever been in one before. And I know it's definitely for Joe, because Joe just started playing goal this year. So I think John has a little more experience than Joe. We'll see what happens, eh?
Ron Caldwell will take it for the Green Hornets. Terry Wardrop for the Grey Wolves. They will start things off.
Okay, Al, like you said, I'll watch the green and you watch the gray.
And if they're still tied at the end of 5 shots, do they just go back through the same 5 players,
no,
or do they go to another 5?
Another 5. And then,
okay, we're going to be able to watch both shots here. We're going to watch first make that number 9 for the gray team. That'll be Terry Wardrop. We'll watch him first, and then we'll show you a replay of the green team on their shot attempt. So we will be able to bring you all the shots. There's a look at Terry Wardrop. And you talk about the goaltenders being nervous. I bet the shooters are fairly nervous as well.
also, they are.
There's Wardrop breaking right in on goal. There's a shot. He scores!
Nice goal.
Terry Wardrop gives the Grey Wolves the advantage right off the bat as he went high on the right side of Joe Goulart.
And John Robertson stopped the shot by the looks of it.
Okay, we don't have the replay for you at the John Robertson end of the rink, but John Robertson did stop the shot. Now, it'll be Ozzie Caldarelli for the Grey Wolves as Caldarelli breaks in, and at the other end it's Gary Furness. Furness' shot is blocked, and it looks like Caldarelli's shot was blocked. Perhaps Caldarelli went wide.
Ozzie shot high. Yeah, Ozzie shot high.
Okay, here's the replay at the Green Hornets of their shot by Gary Furness on John Robertson, and Robertson, the nice stop down in the butterfly. Yeah. Now it'll be Frank Rank for the Grey Wolves. There you see him, number 10.
Frank's got a good chance of scoring here.
Whoop.
Oh, he saw it. He did score.
And Frank Rank scores. Richard Scott at the other end does not get the goal.
So now it's 3-1 for Gray.
So it's 3-1 for Gray. Let's look on the replay. There's the other end, and there you see the replay as Scott gets stymied by Robertson.
Now, if Joe Smith scores here, it's all over because there's no chance.
They wouldn't be able to come back and tie it at that point. So Joe Smith of the Grey Wolves to try and finish it all off, and breaking in the other way is Sobchuk.
Try to deke if I know Joe.
There's the shot by Joe, and at the other end, it looks like Robertson stymied his man, so it looks like the Grey Wolves
it's all over now.
Come all the way from last place in the regular season, and there's the replay as Sobchuk just couldn't get it behind Robertson. But all the way from last place in the regular season to champions in the playoffs.
I guess I called it right by John having more experience than Joe, so only because I know John. And Joe did a real good job. Both goalies did a good job. Both teams did an awesome job. And I guess the best team won today.
Well, they certainly were full marks for their efforts on the ice. And Ken Porkalab, you've been full marks up here in the booth. We appreciate you taking the time to join us here today for the Gold Division Championship game. I know you would rather have been on the ice.
I hope next year you're talking about me on the ice.
You are definitely coming back for season 29 then.
Oh, yes, definitely.
You know, you don't hear about many NHL players with 29 seasons behind their belt.
That's for
Maybe
sure.
Gordie Howe would be the only one.
Okay, the MVP, it looks like it's going to be Terry Wardrop, selected by Steve Scully here for his, in fact, he scored 2 goals. He scored in the shootout
as well.
And he scored the first goal, so super guy. Terry, he's been really involved. He was a previous convener and everything else, puts a lot of time into it, so it couldn't happen to a nicer guy.
And we enjoyed doing the game, and we'll be taking a brief timeout now from Mainway Arena, but we will be back with game number 2 on Cogeco TV 23. Be sure to join us. Stay tuned for that.